was a stormy Thursday night when I stayed home alone. My roommates had left for a weekend trip, and I had the apartment to myself. The power had flickered twice already. I remember sitting on the couch, the sound of rain making the whole place feel cozy, until it wasn't. Around midnight, I heard a light tap on the window. I live on the 3rd floor. At first I thought it was a branch or the rain hitting just right, but it kept happening. Same rhythm, same corner pain. I stood up slowly, moved toward the living room window, and that's when I saw it. A pale face, right outside the window, eyes wide, mouth stretched into a smile far too big to be real. I stumbled back, heart racing, but when I blinked, it was gone. No sign of anyone, no footprints on the fire escape, nothing. I tried to convince myself I was seeing things, until I found something the next morning. On the inside of the glass were 3 wet, smudged fingerprints. This happened in 2018. I was driving home from a late shift at the hospital. The rain was relentless, pounding so hard that even my wipers couldn't keep up. I decided to pull over at a rest stop. No one else was around, just my headlights and the blinding rain. That's when I noticed a man standing under the flickering streetlight at the edge of the lot. No umbrella, no jacket, just standing, staring at my car. I watched him for a bit, trying to decide if he needed help, but something was off. His clothes weren't just wet, they looked ancient, torn, caked in mud. Then he moved. One step, then another, toward me. I locked my doors. He came closer, and then he smiled. But not with his mouth, with his eyes, and slowly raised one hand, pointing straight at me. I panicked, threw the car in reverse, and sped out of the lot. Didn't stop until I reached home. Later, I looked up news from that area. Found an article from 1979 about a man hit by a car and killed at that exact rest stop during a rainstorm. With a photo in the article, it was him. It was raining so hard that night. Visibility was maybe 10 feet ahead. I was driving slowly through back roads near my town after a late dinner. Suddenly, I slammed the brakes. A child. Standing alone in the middle of the road, she couldn't have been older than 7, wearing a white dress, soaked from head to toe. She didn't move, just stared. I got out of the car, heart racing, shouting through the rain, "Are you okay? Where are your parents?" Nothing. I took a few steps toward her. She vanished. Walked. I sprinted back to the car, shaking. Once inside, I turned the high beams on. The road was completely empty. Later, I told the story to my aunt, who lived in the area. She turned pale and said, "You saw her too?" Turns out, local legend speaks of a girl who died on that road during a storm in the 1960s. Her spirit appears only when it rains, always alone, always silent. I was house-sitting for my uncle while he was away. Old country house, creaky floors, drafty windows. That night, the rain wouldn't let up. Around 2 a.m. I was woken up by a strange sound. It was coming from the basement. At first I thought it was pipes, or maybe the wind. But then I heard it again, clearer, screaming, desperate, human. I grabbed a flashlight and headed down the stairs. The further I descended, the colder it got. The screams stopped. I shone the light around the basement. Nothing, just boxes, old tools, dust, silence. As I turned to go back upstairs, the light caught something on the far wall. Scratches, deep ones, like fingernails, and a message etched below. "Still here." I didn't sleep that night. My uncle came back the next morning, and I told him everything. He didn't look surprised, just said, "She always cries when it storms." This happened to my older brother, Mark, about 10 years ago. He was driving late at night on the outskirts of the city during a thunderstorm. He saw a woman standing at the side of the road, waving frantically. So he pulled over. She was soaked, trembling, dressed in a formal gown, like she'd come from a prom or a wedding. She got in, thanked him, and asked for a ride to the next town. They barely spoke. She stared straight ahead, almost frozen. But when he glanced at her from the corner of his eye, he noticed something strange. Her dress wasn't just wet, it was bloody. He asked if she was okay, but she didn't respond. When he looked over again, she was gone. Passenger door still closed. Seat wet, but empty. Later, he found out about a woman who died in a car crash on that very stretch of road 15 years ago, on prom night. Witnesses say that she was waving. The rain washes away footsteps,